thing
research
about
that points to one side or another.
the thing about trans kids, to hop back on that, and it's like, man, we don't let kids smoke, we don't let them vote, drive a car, and for them to have an ability to even have an influence over their parents to have such a life altering it, because you can't go back after that.
Good point.
Well, I mean, if you do puberty blockers, you can, right?
They say you can reverse it, but
Before
Michael
doing
Jackson
Yeah.
went through.
You
something
can't
like that.
reverse.
That's why he has a high pitched voice.
a lot.
Can you reverse puberty blockers? What? Destiny, I don't think it's not that I don't think. Puberty blockers are actually irreversible. The medication you're giving them to these children is actually castrating. I don't know if it's involving the puberty blockers, but yeah. Yeah, let's debate.
I don't know.
Let me finish watching this video.
It's for the men. I forget what they call it.
So that their voice will be high pitched.
How like pitched like a woman. You don't
There's
get
some
it.
things you don't go back. Like
We'll
females
debate.
jump on testosterone, they start growing beards, and the voice get
Come
real
to the
deep.
Discord.
Once you get off that testosterone, you can't change that.
Bodybuilding women, that voice can't.
Yeah, it's going to stay raspy. Some of these things
Yeah.
that
I mean,
can't-
if you do hormones, depending on the female to male one, there are things that change. Because when you have testosterone and the cartilage thickens in your whatever that causes the atoms to come out, when you get rid of the testosterone, that doesn't go away, so your voice is always a little
So
different.
do you think trans
Yeah, so he recognizes puberty blockers are actually irreversible.
women should be able to breastfeed their kids?
Oh, does actual just fucking milk come out?
They call it. Well, it's
they
pus.
call it milk, but we all know it's sweat, pus, and salt.
Listen, whatever they say it is in the fucking beaker, okay? When Walter White tests it,
Yeah.
whatever it fucking says, they want to
Yeah.
do it. I,
You
don't know. I
think
think it's
it- like,
fucking
if-
weird, but
If she takes those drugs and start producing that milk or whatever they want to call it, do you think they should breastfeed their kid with that?
listen, I don't know.
Take
Yeah,
a
I don't, have a
stance,
strong,
man.
I don't have a strong. I don't know. Those two guys were weird for a whole bunch of reasons. That
Yeah.
had nothing to do with being fucking
Yeah.
trans. Those are just weird fucking people. Okay?
No,
I don't
those
like
are
that.
straight. Those are straight up.
So I don't know how Destiny recognizes that everyone that's prominent in that community is so abnormal that he himself calls them weirds after he recognizes they've been allegations came out against him or whatever. It's hilarious to me that he actually can notice that the weirdos are actually kind of infesting that community and almost like using that community as a crutch to use their weirdness and with no hate and nobody can stop them. And you know what I mean? So they use that crutch of, oh, but I'm a this guy, so how can you stop me from showing my own self-expression? You're being a bigot, and so they can be weird and abnormal. And in the end, we realize they are weird, and the whole society realizes they are weird. And it's just hilarious that we can recognize that these people are infesting that community, but we just still want to create laws to protect that community and just allow that infestation, like not address the infestation anyway, just allow it to fester up.
Trans. dude.
Yeah.
That is the trans community right there in a nutshell.
Look, this is my position. I'm all about people living a life how they want to live.
It's got to be based in reality.
But it's got to be based in reality.
Well, but I mean, you say that, but then
Yeah.
like every fucking atheist is gonna say, well, "What about all the religious people that do all the weird shit with their kids?"
Man, let's stick to the trans. Let's leave the
I'm just saying,
religion
you're saying based.
But this is like a really bad analogy. Like the religious are not comparable. Like the atheists trying to talk about religious is not comparable to the puberty blockers you're putting to these children and forcing upon them. Like a religious, maybe you can say it's changing his mind, but at this point I can argue everything that the child is influenced with new modern technology is influencing his brain. So you really don't have an argument. So religion actually maybe influences your brain, but what we're talking about is something influences your actual body. So I would say that's even more detrimental than religion. So I don't know why he's actually trying to equate religion and a medical procedure, like especially if it would be mandated very soon.
In reality, and you got like atheists versus religious people. That's like one of the fundamental disagreements between fucking
Yeah, but we talking about trans kids.
So do you think they should be allowed to breastfeed?
I think that we should follow the science. If the science says one thing and people want to do it, I mean, it's their choice, it's their families, they can do it.
Yeah.
If there's not strong supporting evidence, then it should be experimental, so only okayed in like extreme circumstances. And if the evidence is
So
pointing,
why is he against child marriage then? He shouldn't be even against child marriage. He should allow children at the age of 12, if their parents agree with it, to do whatever the fuck they want. Right? Why does he even limit tattoos to adults? Why doesn't he just let children do it? Why does he even limit like driving cars to adults? Why doesn't he just let children do it? As long as the parents agree, why don't we just let it happen? This is his mindset right now. This is what he's trying to force upon society. I mean, then what's your argument against child marriage? What's your argument against child marriage? If all you need is the parents to agree, and now this child can have the responsibility of an adult and make decisions an adult can make, then why the fuck are we not? What's your argument against child marriage? That means Destiny has to condone child marriage. He has to according to this argument, he has to condone child marriage. This is not a straw man at all. Actually, is this a straw man? I don't think so. I'm just using an analogy, comparable. I'm comparing an analogy. I don't know if it's a wrong analogy. I don't think it's a wrong analogy, but I'm comparing that to the current situation. And Destiny seems to be creating a fallacious argument, basically, because he wouldn't believe that child marriage is acceptable as long as the parents do it. Because actually, he's against that. He's for consent laws and age of consent laws or whatever.
Certainly against it, but
Yeah.
you don't let them do it because it'd be harmful to the children. I think it's.
I mean, what's the use of the age of consent then? If all you need is to get emancipated. By the way, if you say my parents need to agree to this, anytime you say my parents need to agree, like he said, if your parents agree with it, then I don't think you could stop. By the way, every time you say that, also you have to use emancipation, because anytime a kid emancipates himself, he has that same authority to himself as if the parent would have done to him. So whenever you read anywhere in legal terms that the parents have to agree, like for example in New Hampshire, you can marry a girl as young as 14, but her parents have to agree. But another part of the ruling is if she's emancipated. So either a guardian or she's emancipated. So either a guardian has to agree, or she was emancipated, and so she becomes her own guardian, and so she can make that decision for herself. So anytime you see, if the parents agree what Destiny is trying to argue for, you also have to equate if she was emancipated. That means if every kid at this point can get emancipated and the age of 12 start puberty blockers. That's basically what Destiny is agreeing for and actually condoning.
But if you don't have the evidence,
If you like I said, well, if you've got like exploratory stuff, then it's experimental, and you like green light it for extreme cases. Like if you've got like a parent, or if you've got somebody dying of like some cancer, and they're like, listen, we can do chemo, we can do radiology, whatever. You got like 2 months, but there's this other thing. We could try it. No guarantee. There's like clinical trials or whatever. You'd like try it that way. And the trials, you see how they work. But yeah, I mean that's how you do. Yeah.
What a trash argument. Is this how he uses? Is this how? Bro, I would never argue with this piece of shit. What the fuck is this trash argument? Shit analogies. Analogies that don't even make sense. They're not comparable in any way to the situation. What does cancer have to do with a child wanting to... cancer, something forced upon you and is killing you, than a child that has mental disease that just needs to go see some more sun and get some more vitamin D? Or he needs a better quality of life that the society is forcing upon him, a trash quality of life where it forces him to wake up at 6 a.m. in the morning so he can go to school, spend 8 hours of his life every single day, 5 days a week, doing homework and school, and he's bored, and society is killing him in that sense. And instead of releasing that stress from him and allowing him to become the man he's supposed to be or the woman she's supposed to be, you just keep that stress upon them and instead medicate them. Of course, this is not equatable at all. Cancer is not equatable to the mental health issues that are creating suicide. Suicide is preventable. Cancer sometimes is unpreventable completely. This is not comparable. These are trash arguments. This guy's a trash debater. I dare you, Destiny, come debate me on any issue. Come debate me on your strongest issue. You're a loser, bro. You have no arguments.